Every day, billions of people buy milk, bread, bottled water, snacks, toothpaste, and hundreds of other everyday products. Most of these items cost only a few dollars, or even less. So, how can FMCG companies become billion-dollar businesses selling products with such tiny profit margins? The answer isn't making more money from each product. It's selling millions of products, moving them faster than they expire, and building one of the most efficient supply chains in the world. FMCG stands for fast-moving consumer goods. These are the products people buy frequently, use quickly, and replace again and again. Unlike cars or furniture, FMCG products may stay in your home for only a few days, or even a few hours. Their secret isn't a high selling price. It's how fast they move from factory shelves to shopping carts. Unlike luxury products, most FMCG items earn only a small profit on each sale. A single bottle of water or loaf of bread may generate just a few cents in profit. That doesn't sound like much until you sell millions of them every single day. In the FMCG industry, success isn't built on expensive products. It's built on enormous volume. Not all FMCG products are the same. A bottle of shampoo can sit on a warehouse shelf for months without losing value, but fresh milk, vegetables, fruit, meat, and seafood begin losing freshness almost immediately. Every hour matters. In the food business, time isn't just money, it's the product itself. For food companies, every minute counts. A fresh product starts losing value the moment it's harvested, produced, or packaged. If it reaches supermarket shelves too late, it may be discounted. If it stays too long, it becomes waste. That's why the biggest challenge in FMCG isn't simply making products, it's winning the race against time. Every FMCG product begins long before it reaches a factory. Milk starts on dairy farms. Wheat grows in vast fields. Cocoa comes from tropical plantations. Palm oil, sugar, coffee, vegetables, fruit, spices, and countless other ingredients are sourced from thousands of farms around the world. Before companies can manufacture products, they must first secure a reliable supply of raw ingredients. FMCG companies rarely grow their own food. Instead, they partner with thousands of farmers who produce the milk, fruit, vegetables, grains, coffee, cocoa, and other ingredients needed every day. These partnerships are more than simple purchases. Companies often help farmers improve quality, increase production, and maintain reliable harvests. Because if farms succeed, the entire supply chain becomes stronger. Before a single product reaches the factory, its cost is already changing. The prices of wheat, milk, sugar, coffee, cocoa, cooking oil, and other raw ingredients rise and fall every day. Weather, droughts, global demand, transportation costs, and even geopolitical events can affect what FMCG companies pay. Managing these unpredictable commodity prices is one of the biggest challenges in the industry. Once the raw ingredients arrive, the transformation begins. Fresh milk becomes yogurt, wheat becomes flour, tomatoes become sauce, coffee beans are roasted, vegetables are cleaned, and fruit is sorted. Every step follows carefully controlled processes designed to maximize quality, consistency, and efficiency. Before a product reaches your shopping cart, it may pass through dozens of processing stages. Making one bottle of juice isn't difficult. Making 1 million identical bottles every week is a completely different challenge. Modern FMCG factories are designed for continuous production, where automated machines, conveyor belts, and skilled workers operate together around the clock. The more efficiently a factory runs, the lower the cost of every product it produces. Producing millions of products means every single one must meet the same standard. A single defective batch can trigger costly recalls, damage customer trust, and hurt a company's reputation. That's why FMCG manufacturers inspect raw ingredients, monitor production lines, test finished products, and maintain strict food safety standards before anything leaves the factory. Once the products are made, they still aren't ready for customers. Packaging protects food during transportation, extends shelf life, provides important information, and helps products stand out on crowded supermarket shelves. But packaging is also a major business expense. FMCG companies must balance cost, protection, sustainability, and efficiency, all without slowing down production. The moment fresh food leaves the farm or factory, the countdown begins. Milk slowly loses freshness. Vegetables begin to wilt, fruit continues to ripen, meat and seafood become more vulnerable to spoilage. Unlike electronics or furniture, food has a limited lifespan. Every hour it spends waiting is an hour of value lost. That's why speed becomes one of the most valuable assets in the entire FMCG business. For many food products, speed alone isn't enough. They also need the right temperature every second of the journey. This uninterrupted refrigerated network is called the cold chain. From the factory to refrigerated warehouses, delivery trucks, supermarkets, and finally your refrigerator, keeping food cold preserves freshness, prevents spoilage, and protects billions of dollars in products every year. After production, millions of products move into warehouses, but they can't stay there for long. Every extra day increases storage costs and brings food one step closer to expiration. FMCG companies constantly track inventory, making sure older products leave first while new products replace them. In this business, a warehouse isn't where products sit, it's where products keep moving. Leaving the warehouse doesn't mean the journey is over. Most products first travel to regional distribution centers before reaching individual supermarkets and convenience stores. These facilities receive millions of products, sort them by destination, and send them back out within hours. Every day, they act like the beating heart of the FMCG supply chain, keeping products flowing across entire countries. The final delivery is one of the most important steps in the entire supply chain. Every supermarket, convenience store, and grocery retailer depends on receiving the right products at the right time. Deliver too early and shelves become overcrowded. Deliver too late and customers find empty shelves. FMCG companies work constantly to keep stores stocked without carrying unnecessary inventory. Getting products into a supermarket doesn't guarantee they'll sell. Every shelf has limited space and thousands of brands compete for the best locations. Eye-level shelves, end cap displays, refrigerated sections, and checkout aisles are some of the most valuable real estate in retail. Winning shelf space often means selling more products without changing the product itself. You might think FMCG companies have all the power because they make the products. But in reality, large retailers often have enormous negotiating power. Supermarket chains buy millions of products every year, allowing them to negotiate lower prices, promotional deals, better payment terms, and premium shelf placement. For many FMCG companies, maintaining strong relationships with retailers is just as important as making great products. Even the best product won't sell if nobody remembers it. That's why FMCG companies invest billions of dollars every year in advertising, packaging design, promotions, sponsorships, and digital marketing. Their goal isn't just to introduce a product once, it's to make consumers recognize it instantly and choose it again and again. In the FMCG industry, repeat customers are far more valuable than one-time buyers. Most FMCG products sell for only a few dollars, or even just a few cents. That means companies don't make huge profits from each individual item. Instead, they carefully calculate every ingredient, every package, every delivery, and every operating cost to protect tiny profit margins. In the FMCG industry, making just a few extra cents per product can translate into millions of dollars over an entire year. One of the biggest advantages in the FMCG industry is something economists call economies of scale. As production increases, the average cost of making each product decreases. Factories become more efficient, suppliers offer better prices for larger orders, transportation becomes cheaper per unit, and expensive equipment is spread across millions of products. That's why the world's biggest FMCG companies can often sell products at lower prices while still earning higher profits. Making too much food creates waste. Making too little leaves empty shelves and disappointed customers. That's why FMCG companies constantly forecast demand before products are even manufactured. They analyze past sales, seasonal trends, holidays, weather, promotions, and consumer behavior to predict how much each product people will buy. The more accurate the forecast, the more profitable the entire business becomes. Building a larger factory takes years and costs millions of dollars, but increasing sales can sometimes happen overnight. That's why FMCG companies frequently use promotions like discounts, bundle offers, coupons, loyalty programs, and limited time campaigns. The goal isn't simply to sell more today, it's to encourage customers to buy more often, increase basket size, and build long-term buying habits. Not every product that reaches a supermarket gets sold. Some expire before customers buy them. Others are damaged during transportation or removed from shelves because of changing demand. Every unsold product represents wasted ingredients, manufacturing, packaging, transportation, and labor. Reducing waste isn't just good for the environment, it's one of the biggest ways FMCG companies protect their profits. The world's largest FMCG companies don't always create their fastest growing products themselves. Instead, they often buy successful, smaller brands. Acquiring an established business is usually faster than building a new brand from scratch. Once the acquisition is complete, the larger company uses its factories, distribution network, marketing budget, and retail relationships to grow that brand even further. Growth doesn't always come from invention, it often comes from expansion. At this point, you might think FMCG companies make huge profits every time someone buys a product. But that's not how the business works. Most products earn only a tiny profit on each sale. The real secret is selling millions of products every single day. Small margins multiplied by massive volume create enormous profits over time. A company can be profitable on paper and still run out of money. That's because profit and cash aren't the same thing. FMCG companies often pay farmers, suppliers, factories, and employees long before supermarkets pay their invoices. If cash stops flowing, even for a short time, the entire business can struggle. That's why managing cash flow is often even more important than maximizing profit. Once a company has healthy cash flow, it can begin expanding. As production grows, something powerful happens. The average cost of making each product starts to fall. This is called economies of scale. Larger factories, bigger supplier contracts, fuller delivery trucks, and more efficient operations allow FMCG companies to produce each item at a lower cost. The lower the cost per product, the more profit they can earn from every sale. Making a profit isn't the finish line. It's the beginning of the next stage of growth. Instead of keeping all the money, successful FMCG companies reinvest much of it back into the business. They build larger factories, buy faster production equipment, expand warehouses, upgrade technology, launch new products, and enter new markets. Reinvesting profits today creates even greater profits tomorrow. Once an FMCG company has built a profitable business, the next challenge is growth. Companies can grow in three major ways: creating new products, expanding into new markets, and acquiring successful businesses. The biggest FMCG companies don't rely on a single strategy. They combine all three to reach more customers and generate even greater long-term profits. The FMCG industry will continue to evolve with artificial intelligence, automation, smarter supply chains, and more sustainable products. But no matter how much technology changes, the business model remains the same. Success still depends on understanding customers, operating efficiently, and constantly improving every part of the supply chain. The next time you buy an everyday product, remember, behind that simple purchase is one of the most sophisticated business systems ever built.